Romshinators. Thank you so much for joining me once again here on romshii Radio. Your number one news source for all of the horrifying things of the world. No, this is not a fear-mongering channel. But once in a while, we might fear-monger a little bit. I mean, we might do a little bit of fear, like not as much as the other guys. I mean, mostly this is a comedic channel. But what I want to let you know is AI is going to crush your skull. There is robots coming, which have the potential to crush your skull like a grape. This is an article from the CNBC about robots that potentially will fracture your skull, explode your bones into dust, turn your brain into soup, and just destroy your pelvis from the inside out. This says right here, this is what it says. Figure AI sued by Whistleblower. Hold on. I got my whistle right here. Who warned that startups' robots could kill, murder, and destroy. No, it doesn't say that. Could fracture a human skull. This is by Laura Kolodny. Laura Kolodny has written this article. And here we have a picture. This looks like an AI-generated picture. This is ridiculous. I absolutely hate that this is the norm now for these articles. Instead of showing pictures of the actual robots that are going to kill me and my family, they show just an AI-generated slop picture. You can see here there's these two robots in the back are suspended from some truss rods. The one in the middle has a head. The other two don't. It says startup figure AI is developing blah, blah, blah. I don't. This looks like an AI slop image. I can't really think anything different. Figure AI, an NVIDIA-backed developer of humanoid robots, was sued by the startup's former head of production safety, who alleged that he was wrongfully terminated after warning top executives that the company's robots were powerful enough to fracture a human skull. This is par for the course with corporate companies. If you identify a problem, you become the problem, and you are removed, or you are punished, or there's a power move done to you. You are made to be small. You are shown that you can be crushed. You are shown the door. This happens for much smaller things than this, of course, in companies with much less serious things. I mean, this is just I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. They probably crushed his skull. They took him into a meeting. They were like, hey, yeah, can we speak with you for a second? He comes in. He's like, oh, hey, guys, looks like I got the brass here. And they all laugh. And then he closes the door behind him, and he's a little bit nervous, and he sits down, and he's like, yeah, so the new robots are great. I just think they're like, so Tony here is telling me that you took him aside the other day on the assembly line, and you said, hey, I noticed this robot, some of the people that we had here testing with them, you said that one of them fractured somebody's skull, or it could, and he's like, no, what I'm saying is, it's strong enough to fracture a human skull because it is, here at Figure AI, we figure that you will, we figure that you will do what we say, or the robots are coming to your house, you know? Oh, man. I feel like I'm not surprised. And also, like, what? What do you expect? Like, there's going to be nice, gentle robots? That's like, yeah, you know what else can crush your skull? Almost anything. Almost anything can. I'm not trying to minimize it, but I mean, what are we going to do? Stop people from selling hammers? Oh, man, this is getting dark. Stop people. All the cars need to be made of, like, styrofoam now? That would be a good idea. I would support that. Robert G., a principal robotic safety engineer, is the plaintiff in the suit filed Friday in a federal court in the Northern District of California. Mr. G's attorneys described their client as a whistleblower who was fired in September, days after lodging his most direct and documented safety complaints. Again, this is par for the course. You discover a problem, you become the problem. You say something, you are removed. The suit lands 2 months after Figure was valued at $39 billion in a funding round led by Parkway Venture Capital. Yeah, because so they just got a bunch of money and they don't want to make their investors sad. They don't care about safety. All these people care about is getting more money, scamming people, having a bigger mansion than the next guy, being looking down on the working class, you know, flexing their power, firing people who identify obvious problems. They don't care about anything. And the thing is, you can blame them for being evil, horrible, shallow people, because they are. But also, this system was set up so that evil, horrible, shallow behavior will get you in these positions. So it's a two-way street, you know. There's people who are born with a moral sense that is less breakable, less malleable than the next person. And sometimes that next person who is able to shut off that part of them inside that is screaming to stop, you know, they're able to shut that off for the material gain promised to them by the society which has raised them from birth. And they are told they're a good little boy when they do this stuff by the people above them. So why not? Why would they not do that? Like, that's the thing. Why would they not? In their minds, they're thinking, this guy's getting in the way of my yacht. This guy's getting in the way of my lake house. This guy's getting in the way of me saying that I'm a big famous guy. They don't care if a couple heads get crushed. That was probably a janitor. That's not a big fancy guy like me. They're not going to crush my head. My head's smart. My head's full of really great ideas. In the complaint, Mr. G's lawyers say the plaintiff warned Figure CEO Brett Adcock. Well, his name is Adcock, so that describes it right there. He has a hate for the world because he was born saddled and branded with the name Adcock. You know, I would be probably evil too. Kyle Edelberg, chief engineer about the robot's lethal capabilities, and said one had already carved a 1/4-inch gash into a steel refrigerator door during a malfunction. Oh my God! That's a steel refrigerator door. That would certainly eviscerate your balls. You know, if that was you. If it wasn't the fridge and it was your ball sack, I mean, that would be big trouble. That would be big trouble. And you think they would want to know this too. Because in the future, if this happens to somebody, they are going to get sued by a lot of people. But maybe at that point they don't care because they have all their money set aside and it's just like a corporate thing, and they'll just deflect it and they'll go in front of a jury or they'll go in front of Congress and say, we do our best. That's what it'll be. A robot will kill like 30 people in a grocery store, and you'll see some terrified CEO sitting there like Zuckerberg style. He's gonna be like, we do our best to ensure the safety. They're going to be like, did the robot kill and maim 30 people in the grocery store? We have footage of this exact thing happening. Just asking you, did that happen? They'll be like, there has been safety concerns for a long time at this company. Mr. Adcock, please answer the question with a yes or no. Blah, blah, blah. They get protected. Nothing happens. They leave. You know, it's all fine. It's all going to be fine. I just want you guys to, unless you interact with one of these murderous robots, you're going to be fine. The complaint also says Mr. G warned the company leaders not to downgrade a safety roadmap that he had been asked to present to two prospective investors who ended up funding the company. So the funding was based on the safety that this fellow, Mr. G, proposed in the first place, and then when he brings up a safety violation, he is removed. Mr. G worried that the product's safety plan, which contributed to their decision to invest, had been gutted the same month Figure closed the investment round. That's a classic move. That's a classic move, both from corporations and governments. They do that all the time. A move that could be interpreted as fraudulent, the suit says. Yeah, obviously, because it is fraudulent. The plaintiff's concerns were treated as obstacles and not obligations, and the company cited a vague change in business direction as the pretext for his termination. Yeah. They don't have to answer any of these questions. They have so many lawyers and so much money. There's nothing that anyone's really going to be able to do to get this guy's job back. At most, he's going to get some shut up money. But of course, he hasn't shut up, so I don't know what's going to happen to him. Mr. G is seeking economic, compensatory, and punitive damages and demanding a jury trial. Yes! Demand that, Mr. G. A Figure spokesperson said in an emailed statement that Mr. G was terminated for poor performance and that his allegations are falsehoods that Figure will thoroughly discredit in court. Okay, very good. Mr. G is actually the bad guy here. So see, what happened is These beautiful souls at NVIDIA, at Figure AI, were doing their very best. And the evil Mr. G, their person they appointed to come up with a safety roadmap, the evil Mr. G came along and started slacking off. He started smoking weed at work, bringing lots of girls around, watching Netflix at his office, and he saw a robot. No, he didn't see anything. What happened was he got so high on marijuana cigarettes one day at work that he hallucinated one of our robots damaging a fridge accidentally. A fridge which is much stronger than a human body, than human bones and flesh. That robot accidentally hit the fridge and damaged it, signifying that if that were to happen to a human, it would crush their skull like a grape and explode their bones and eviscerate their pelvis and their spleen. But this was, again, just a hallucination from the evil mind of Mr. G, who was having poor performance. And so that's what they will have you believe. And I know that the romshinators out there are too smart to fall for this type of propaganda. I know you're too smart to fall for this type of propaganda. I know that you're on Mr. G's side. I mean, these companies, they're going to be rolling out these AI robots as fast as they can. Because the first person to do it's going to get a shit ton of money, and they're going to get to go to parties and act like Bruce Wayne. That's the whole thing, is these Batman movies made everybody want to be fucking Batman, and now they want to show up to the party in a helicopter with fucking 5 women at their side and go, I'm the guy who invented robots. They're totally safe, and if anybody gets killed by a robot, it doesn't really matter, because that person was probably a working class caterer, server, at the launch party for the robots, and the robot swung its arm around and just smoked up and knocked their head off, turned it into dust. And then they said, oh, well, that's okay. It's just a catering server. It wasn't one of our investors. Thank God. And then they cover it up with a bunch of hush money, and it all goes along with the status quo. Thank you for watching, Romshinators. I really appreciate it. Please comment down below how you will defend yourself from these murderous robots coming to a grocery store near you. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Appreciate it. Goodbye.